Hi, boys and girls. Oh no, my towel bar has come out of the wall. I've been having tremendous numbers of requests for fixing things like this, so we're going to do a video on how to fix it right now. This is a super inexpensive and easy, low-skilled thing to do, but it revolves around these anchors that are used frequently to hold things like that. Just really don't bite into the sheetrock very well at all. So when it gets pulled, they just come right out, and you can't really just screw a new screw in. It's just going to do the same thing. So let's just go ahead and finish this off. So to fix it, I need to change these to a different kind of anchor. Let's make a quick trip to the hardware store and I'll show you some of the options that we have. Here's the problem. These little plastic anchors expand on the inside of the drywall. So this is the outside of the wall, this is the inside. And they're supposed to catch and hold. But in reality, they can allow some flexing to happen, and they can flex inward and things can just pull right out. So instead, we want to use something like this or like this, where we end up with something big on the inside that can't pull out as easily. So I'm going to get these 1/8 inch toggle bolts. I think they'll fit right back into the same size hole that's already. So on most of the towel bars, there's going to be a little bitty Allen wrench hole right here at the bottom. We can just loosen this up a little bit. We don't even have to take that all the way out. And when we're done, this inside piece is going to come out. It's going to look something like that. Now I need to remove the screws from these anchors. So I'm just going to hold the anchor in my hand and use my trusty little knife here, made by Klein, to undo this. But any Phillips bit will take those out in a hurry. Once you get them a little ways, you can unthread them the rest of the way just by hand. Okay, back from the hardware store, carefully cutting open the package. I don't want to cut my little fingers with my knife. I might start bleeding, and that's not good. So these toggle bolts have two different things. We have the screw head here, and then we have the toggle bolt side like this. And it threads. We want it, when it's threaded, to go through the hole right here in the center. So if you kind of hold it in the middle like that, it'll start to thread out like that. Now we're going to push it into the wall through the old hole, and those are going to fold in like so. Then it's going to pop out, and then we can pull on it and tighten it down. And as we tighten, this is going to pull this way, and this is going to pull that way, and that's going to hold it right where we want it. It's important before we put it into the wall, because once we put it into the wall, we don't get it back out, that we put it through the hole on the holder. So now thread it back through like I just showed you. Another important thing to note is that we're going to put both of them in at the same time, because if we do just one, we won't be able to loosen it enough to get the other one to go in. So we need to do these both at the same time. So I'm just going to fold these in and push, and then fold this one in and push. And usually if you're doing these small toggle bolts, the anchor is, the hole left from this anchor is about the same size as we need for this. If we need to make it just a little bit bigger, I can just kind of put it in and wiggle it just a little bit like that. And that can make it just a little bigger. Just put it in and wiggle it just a little bit. And there it goes. I can feel it. All right. Just like that. Sometimes when it's a tight fit, you just have to put it in and wiggle it a little bit. Now we're going to push it in, and we won't be able to pull these back out once we do that. So just like me, my kids could tell you we can't pull that out. So I need to pull in order to maintain pressure against the wall as I tighten these up. So as I pull, I will tighten it, and I'll do the top one, and then I'll switch and do the bottom one a little bit. And we'll just kind of keep it even as we go. Now it's definitely a lot faster if you have an... I dropped my knife. It's definitely a lot faster if you use a drill, but you don't have to use a drill. You can just use a hand screwdriver just like this one, and you'll be able to do it no problem. Just takes a moment. Sometimes we're in such a big hurry to get things done, aren't we? We never just slow down and let things happen at their natural speed, the way it's always happened for generations before us. The very end is the tricky part. We have to keep enough tension on both parts to tighten it down. So if I get one of them too tight too fast, I won't be able to pull on it enough to actually tighten the toggle. Like that one right now is just spinning. I have to be able to pull So you may have to loosen this one just ever so slightly to then be able to pull enough. Now we've got it to tighten. There we go. And then we should still be able to tighten this one too. That's really the only hard part, is having to tighten them both together. Just like that. Once I get it to the end, I'm really going to torque it down good now. There we go. And that is much, much stronger than what was there before. Now let's do the other side. Same basic concept. We do want to make sure the notch is the same direction. So we're going to reverse it to be up to the top, just like we did on the other one. And we need to get both of them to go in the hole at the same time. Giggity, giggity. All right, so now we've got them in place. Let's put the towel bar back on. If your towel bar is lower than this one, you'll probably want the notches to be down so they're not seen, but this towel bar sits pretty high. So I have them pointed upward. They're going to fit like that. Then we're going to use a Allen wrench to tighten that little nut. There we go. Very, very good. Nice and solid. Almost zero movement, just like we want. If videos like this help you, be sure to share this with somebody, because it may help them as well. Thank you for always liking and following.